Hey everybody, good Friday morning, top of the morning to you. Hope you're doing okay this morning. It's going to be a beautiful weekend. It's already beautiful setting out here this morning. Eddie Williams Sellers coming to you this morning, setting out here, having my coffee in my little garden area. Top of the morning to everybody. Hope you're doing okay. I'm sitting here this morning. It's not lost on me that the time that we're living in very historic times. As the scripture would say, peerless times also. And we're living in a time where somebody like myself can sit here in his little garden on this Friday morning. And it's not lost on me that we're living in a technology age where I can sit here and speak to 5 or 6 people, or 5 or 6,000 people, or 5 or 6 million people that I go back 45, 50 years ago, where that I used to be on a little Saturday 15-minute broadcast. That's all I could afford on Saturdays. WGST radio here in East Point used to be a little gospel station over here in East Point somewhere. I'd have to do my broadcast on a cassette tape and drive it over to the thing. Or some Saturday mornings I'd take my guitar over to the studio, and you could do it live on Saturday. It was like 11:30 something, And after that, I was on WGUN radio, the big gun over in Decatur, and I'd always do that by tape, whatever. And I'd take a little clip out of the preaching sermon, like 7 or 8 minutes of that. And, you mainly do it for advertising, trying to get people to come out to revivals or churches. But then you go into let's go into the service now. And Brother Eddie Sellers and blah, 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 and Jesus, and he's come to set the captive free, and you play a little snippet of a service to try to let people. Anyhow, and that cost money back then. And then we're living in a time today where if we choose to, we can take something as simple as our telephone, and it becomes just as much a studio as somebody who's sitting in Burbank, California, in a studio speaking to the world. The power of the time that we're living in, and the access that we have, and the access in health care and treatments, and yet the flip side of that, we're living through Trump and MAGA era times. Anyhow, I'm just I feel all of that this morning, that we're living through history, that we're a part of history, that we have a very short space to do here. There used to be an old thing in church where they'd say, don't be a lazy Christian. Get up. Shake yourself loose. Be busy. Be busy. Do good. Walk right. So let's do the morning post. Trump's disastrous war. Duluth is only 28 miles from my little house here in East Point, Georgia. But heading north into the north side of Atlanta can sometimes take hours. Atlanta is becoming more and more traffic hell. That part of Atlanta seems so foreign to me. There is no way to expand the streets and roads anymore in or around Atlanta because of the density of the city. Atlanta has grown so much. We're just packed in here on top of each other now. And more streets and roads throughout the city are now becoming bike lanes, and they're making roads more narrow. Ava and I went up to Duluth to pick up kitchen cabinets for the Key Roadhouse. It would have been $250 to have them delivered, so I have a truck. One trip, why not? I think at my age, if I am not spending money, I'm making money. But Jesus, at the end of every month, y'all, it costs a lot of money to live during these times, don't it? During times such as these. And it's going to start costing a lot more once this oil starts making everything more expensive. Duluth seems to be a land of endless industrial parks and business parks, thousands of them. To work in a business park has to be some version of hell. Duluth is Ava's old stomping grounds. She kept saying none of this was here when I lived here. I don't know if I have ever been to Duluth before. I mean, I'm sure I've driven around it and through it. But I'm such a city of Atlanta snob. I don't know if I missed anything. I have always been a in the city or south of the city kind of person. Forest Park, Conley, Rex, Stockbridge, Fayetteville, Peachtree City. Not that I have lived in those places. Well, I did live in Rex for years before my rebirth back into Grant Park. But I've always loved the south side of Atlanta, more so than the north side of Atlanta. It was where more of the poor people lived. The north side was always more for the affluent. It was strange when I moved from Rex during my divorce and rented an apartment in the heart of Buckhead, on East Paces Ferry Road, right there at Peachtree. Across the street was a big two-story bookstore. Down the street was a bagel place. On the corner of Peachtree and East Paces Ferry, there was an old movie theater that had been turned into one of those seedy adult movie theater places. I stumbled into that theater a couple of times. After leaving the church and going through divorce, sinning felt so freeing. To reach a place of guilt-free sin was so liberating. I enjoyed that part of my life. It took us a little over 2 hours to come around 285 from Duluth to the Key Roadhouse. Normal Atlanta traffic. After a couple of hours of sitting under the wheel of stopping and going, I started to get just frustrated. And at the same time, I get really tickled when I feel trapped like that. As I would make inappropriate jokes about cars and people sitting in them cars all angry and frustrated, and some people kind of, you could tell they was having panic and trying to zip back and forth, and I'd sit there and make jokes about them, and Ava would giggle, and I would tell her, "You're going to hell for giggling at that." We are so different in so many ways, Ava and I. I love a Fig Newton. She doesn't. I have never met anyone in life who doesn't love a good Fig Newton. Can a person actually have a soul if they don't love a Fig Newton? People raised up in Duluth can be strange, I guess. It is Friday, the weekend. With every day that goes by, we begin to see that Trump has gotten the world in a pickle now. He is the stupidest man that has ever led the world. Every time I hear him say a quote of So Truth Social something, I'm like, oh my God, how goddamn stupid can anybody? He's just such a stupid man. Yeah, stupid. What other man you know that's 80 years old has to have spray tans and pancake and dyes his hair? Good Lord, y'all, he's stupid. Just stupid. He's so stupid. Did I say stupid enough? He's so freaking stupid. Seriously. But what did we expect? We would be lucky if half the planet is not wiped out in some kind of nuclear war before his term is over. Just so stupid to put a game show host or a reality star in the head of the White House. What's wrong with people? It's just so stupid. Now we see the evidence of stupidity. Make America great again. Good Lord. Make America great again. We're gonna take our country back. Price of eggs is too high. Good heavens, y'all. Good heavens. What the hell? Good Friday morning, sweet people. No, excuse me there. Let's do this. Good Friday morning, sweet people. This is going to be a good day. I don't have to drive to Duluth. So many people work dead-end jobs in business parks and are stuck in traffic every day, which I am neither. So there's that to be thankful for this morning. I'm glad my working days are over and my sitting in traffic days are over. Work? It's kind of way overrated, y'all. Go out and win the lottery. Go win the lottery. Go enjoy life. Business part. And love y'all.